break out the borscht and pierogies, comrades, cause it's time to celebrate a true Soviet hero.
Жуки зазвучали, звонкие песни казаков. Вся станица в путь даёт.
Hello, Internet. Welcome to Game Theory. Slightly funnier than Carlos Mencia. Slightly. Who knew that the Super Mario franchise was so complex? In Game Theory's most watched episode, The Problems with Princess Peach, we dove into Toadstool's psychological issues, the kidnapping conspiracy between her and Bowser, and the fact that Super Mario Bros. 3 may actually be a stage play. Then, coming up in a few weeks, I plan on looking at what the series can teach about quantum mechanics, because, you know, we didn't get enough of that during the BioShock Infinite episode. But while all this may be shocking, it pales in comparison with today's topic, that Mario is a communist sympathizer. Trust me, when loyal theorist Deadly Sin asked me to look into this at the SGC gaming convention, skeptical Matt was skeptical, until I discovered that everything from Mario's design, to the mushrooms he eats, to Japan's political history, points in the direction of our platforming plumber being a comrade from the motherland. So is Mario Jumpman Mario more Russian than Dolph Lundgren in Rocky IV? We're done Stalin, time to find out. For those of you who didn't understand the epic rap battle season 2 finale,
Who are you people?
here's a quick 2-minute refresher for your Russian history. The period leading up to World War I was a difficult time for Mother Russia. In order to finance the war, the government began printing millions and millions of ruble notes, and this caused massive inflation. The prices for food skyrocketed, quadrupling in the span of 4 years, but workers saw no change in pay, meaning that no one could actually afford to feed themselves. It literally took wheelbarrows of money to pay for one loaf of bread. Poor sanitation, dangerous work conditions, hours of slave labor that afforded them nothing. You could see how people were angry, and they were angry at the king. Or in Russia's case, the Tsar. Tsar Nicholas II. On March 7th, 1917, the February Revolution... Wait, seriously? The February Revolution happened in March? Fail, Russia, fail! Saw the people overthrow Nicholas and his royal family. Enter communism, a movement to create a classless, moneyless society in which everyone, from the working class proletariat to the rich bourgeoisie, shares the wealth. This was the teachings of Marx. The other one. The other one. Is that really him? Wow, he looks like a cross between socialism and Santa Claus. To the fed-up Russians, a system in which everyone shares the wealth seemed pretty good, and on November 7th of 1917, the October Revolution, you can probably see a pattern there, the communists took over. Now, for those of you who weren't forced to read Animal Farm 4 times during your high school career, there are 3 important communists to know: Lenin, Stalin, and Trotsky. This one led the Bolshevik Party in the October Revolution and did a lot to transform Russia into a socialist state before he was taken down by the Sith. After his death, this one got screwed over, exiled, and assassinated by this one, who took power, screwed everything up, and was responsible for nearly 20 million deaths via his secret police, famines, and purges. To put Stalin's actions in perspective, compare him to Hitler, whose Holocaust killed 12 million people. Any way you slice it, not nice guys. And that, dear theorists, is everything you need to know to understand this episode and pass the Russian unit in world history. So how could Mario possibly be seen as communist propaganda? Well, slap my buns and call me Joseph McCarthy, cause we're going to expose this supposed Italian for what he really is. Let's start with his design. What color is Mario most associated with? red. Ever wonder why red was chosen? The classic story is that it was to contrast against the blue background, which would make sense if red was truly the color opposite of blue, but it's not. On any color wheel, orange is the color that is directly across from blue, and orange has just as many shades of red, if not more, in the NES color palette. How much orange is used in the game? Next to none. How much red was used? used? A lot. Back in the real world, communism was also strongly associated with red, being known as the Red Threat, the Red Scare, the Red Terror. Then there's Fireflower Mario, clad all in red and white. If he wasn't sporting the communist colors before, he certainly is now the red and white of Lenin's Bolshevik party. But it's not just his colors. Check out the hat. Is it a coincidence that Mario's hat just so happens to sport a similar shape and, more strangely, a similar design as communism's most infamous leader? Perhaps. I mean, it is a bit odd that Mario's hat and Stalin's both have a circle in the front with a signature logo, but we can pass that off as happenstance. How about that facial hair, though? Is it also a coincidence that Mario's mustache looks like it was directly ripped off the face of someone in contention for the world's most evil man? 4 out of 5 communist leaders agree a good mustache is half the uniform. Mario is mustache approved. And while we're looking at character design, let's not forget one of the recurring villains of the Mario franchise, Wario. Wario was created as the anti-Mario, am I right? And what are the 2 things Wario is known for?
Being 10 feet tall.
Shut up. Being fat and being greedy. He's a walking American stereotype, an overweight capitalist pig who eats way too much and loves money. Just look at his games. They're all about collecting treasure, accumulating coins, gaining more wealth. Even back to the first Wario Land, the better endings get you bigger and bigger houses. And achievement being tied to material wealth is as American as apple pie. Wario's the bougie fat cat counterpoint to our proletariat plumber. And let's look at that for a second, shall we? What is Mario exactly? A plumber who started off as a carpenter, both working class, physical labor positions that define members of the Communist Party. Remember, this was a political movement responding to the mistreatment of the working class by the exclusionary upper classes, meaning that blue-collar Mario would fit the bill perfectly. And while we're looking at Mario's proletariat predilection, what's his signature weapon again? Oh, that's right. Hammers. Need I say more? If only Magus appeared in these games, then we'd have the complete communist toolkit. But that's not all, dear theorists. What's the goal of Super Mario Bros? To overthrow a king, King Koopa. And what was the role of the Russian Revolution? To overthrow a king, Tsar Nicholas II. And what do you do at the end of every level in Mario? Rip down a flag. At the end of every level, Mario tears down a flag to raise his own, a red star on a white background. No, that's not a hostile Macy's takeover, my friends. That's Mario raising the symbol of his Soviet brethren. Along with the hammer and sickle, the red star was the other emblem of the Communist Party, specifically of the Red Army, with the 5 points of the star meant to represent the 5 fingers of the Communist worker's hand. And what's on that flag Mario tears down? Is that a pixelated green peace sign? So according to Mario, it's down with peace and up with the people. The people's Mario. But let's take a break from communism for a second, shall we, and look at the rest of the game. Speculation has always gone on about the mushrooms Mario uses. It's a bizarre power-up, right? Well, wonder no more. I give you the Mario mushroom, Amanita muscaria, the fly Amanita. Look familiar? Not only does it look like Mario's mushrooms, it acts like them too, as this poisonous mushroom has been used throughout history for its ability to cause hallucinations. And you know where in the world it's found? Siberia, aka the eastern half of Mother Russia. But seriously, if you're still questioning Mario's loyalty, stop to consider the development of the game. If Super Mario were developed in America, there would be no chance of any sort of communist leanings. But as we all know, Nintendo is located in Japan. And while Japan may not be a communist state, the Japanese Communist Party has been a strong presence in their elections since the 1950s. In fact, it was at its strongest in the 1970s and 80s, when Mario games were first being developed. Of the nearly 50 million votes cast in any given election during that time, well over 5 million, or 10%, go to the Japanese Communist Party. Is it then so difficult to believe that one, maybe two of the people involved in the development of the game could have subtly worked in some of their political beliefs? All it takes is one. And you know what they say, in Soviet Russia, you don't play Mario games play you. But hey, it's just... Hold on a sec. Seriously? Mario is communist. Come on! The green peace sign Mario tears down? Clearly it's a skull. If it was meant to be a peace sign, there would be one more green pixel at the bottom on either side to complete the round look. And while yes, Mario may be overthrowing King Koopa, he's also instating another aristocracy. This one supervised by a mentally unstable princess in pink. Not much of a people's plumber there, huh, Jumpman? Regardless though, it makes you question, right? So, is Mario communist? Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. I'll leave that for you to debate. But from the mushrooms, to his enemies, to the design of the character, to Japanese political history, it's definitely not as ridiculous as it might initially sound. But in the end, it's just a theory. A game theory. Nostrovia. Welcome back to the super amazing end card tournament. For last episode, the Man of Steel got crushed by Ol' Webhead, and everyone lost to the hero Gotham thinks it needs to deserve to have. This week, it's a battle of the baddies. Who is the best Nintendo villain? Bowser, Ganon, or Mother Brain? Click on one of the pictures to choose, but before you do, send a click to the old subscribe button. Let us theorists fill the void that JonTron leaving Game Grumps has left in your life. But seriously, we've been growing quickly thanks to your help and support, so thank you. I had the honor of saying that to a lot of you during the SGC Gaming Convention, but for everyone who wasn't there, thank you for making this show possible. You give us an excuse every week to do something we love to do, so just so you know, we appreciate it. You're just as much a part of this show as we are, and our success is your success as well. Just wanted to let you know, we love you, man. Now click on one of those characters already. This video's gone on long enough.